another Founder Wisdom podcast with Sandro Okropiridze. And I was telling Sandro how I'm learning every day to pronounce names. He's a co-founder of a quite interesting startup. He's also CEO of Stori AI, Story with an I, not a Y. He's from Georgia, and we were talking pre-podcast about him working at precisely one job, kind of like myself, it's working at a stressful job and then going on to found a bunch of interesting startups, which led to Stori AI that we're going to talk about today. Sandro, can you briefly introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about Stori AI?
Hi, Jeff. Actually, you pronounced my name quite well. That's
Thank
correct.
you.
Yeah. So I'm co-founder of Stori AI. We do brand and marketing content creation through AI. So we create like a full cycle of brand formation, marketing content creation that includes visuals, everything. And everything is published and analyzed under one dashboard. And then that's again feed it back to the brand. And we created this like a collaborative space where there's like your brand lives, your content lives, and it's like a self-improving cycle.
Before we get to that, I want to start with like your other experiences. So you're quite a special individual. Well, you started in heating and cooling with Barcon, and then you went with Stellar Technology. So Stellar Technology, which is electric heaters, which is somewhat in the same field. Tell us about why you got in those fields in the first place, and what did you learn from these two startups?
Actually, I was sitting on a patio, and I was talking with my friend. It was like a cool fall day. It was windy, I remember, and I asked him, well, it's like a 21st century and we still didn't figure out to do something to heat outdoors or patio. And he was from London, and he said in UK we have something like that. So then we started, I and my friend, we started to like introduce this shortwave infrared heaters, new technology, new use case, completely like nobody had that. And first, we imported them from UK, and after a few years, I thought that it would be better to manufacture ourselves, make it better, and then we started manufacturing in Georgia, and in around 6 months, I moved manufacturing to Poland. Then we got another. We sold like half of the company to another heating company from Belgium, and the last year I sold it completely, so I'm not in hardware anymore.
Interesting. And yeah, like as I was on a terrace the other day at night, wherever you are in the world with the climate change, because the days are hotter and the nights are colder, you can get quite cold. And I asked the waiter like how much they paid for these big and bulky and somewhat ugly heaters. I think they told me it was like 1,500 per heater, or even 2,000. So I thought, if I'd still be in the physical product market, then I'd probably build something with a distinct technology, measure like the heat output. The only problem with that is that heat goes away like in the night, right? Since hot air, it goes up. I think I'd have a roof also installed into that so that the heat, it can stay at one place and be dispersed in a smart way, which brings some challenge in itself. But bottom line, I thought about like, yeah, that could be a cool industry, right? And that's in Mexico, by the way, and paying $2,000 per device for restaurant owners, quite expensive. So quite a cool business there. What about Blue Light? What was that one about?
Yeah, I'll tell you. But actually, it was about that. So our heaters, they were shortwave infrared heaters, and maybe you are mentioning like propane heaters, or they're burning something. So
yes.
Our had nothing, no exhaust, and this shortwave infrared works like a sunlight. So it directs heat. It doesn't go up. It can go through the glass as well. So it's just shortwave infrared. So
Nice.
Wherever you face it, it would warm it instantly. So it's like going on a sun to the sun from a shade, like going out from the shade, like you instantly feel that infrared heat. So that was the whole point of that. About blue light, I started that in 2021 during COVID. I thought I had some experience in hardware and maybe I'll do something. So I created blue light that is like instant, super fast sterilizers. So whatever you place in there, it comes out completely sterilized. I got an award for that. We got patent for that as well, and I'm in the negotiations right now to sell that company as well. So I'll be completely dedicated to software.
Interesting. And why and how, and yeah, like why and how that idea, blue light and sterilization, which seems somewhat different from heating. Like, where did you get that one?
Actually, it's very similar. In heating, you also have reflective materials that reflect infrared light, and in sterilizers, you also have different type of reflective materials that reflects UVC light. So similar type of assembly, similar type of design, many similar suppliers of components and parts. So it wasn't that hard. The hard part was that it was during lockdown, most of it.
Why was it hard in lockdown?
Well, everything like shipping was hard, assembly, testing, uh, just cooperation with other like engineers, everything that made complications, especially delays in shipping.
Right. Then you mentioned that you made the full shift to software. Why are you making that full transition to software?
Yeah, hardware takes too much time and it's capital intensive, and you cannot iterate that fast. You cannot improve that fast. It's like inherently you need some time. Like you fit one part, you need some time to test it, then try another, build supply chain. It's completely different topic when we are talking like design of hardware and building supply chain for it that is stable. And yeah, it just slows you down. You cannot do it in that time frame that you could improve software. But once you do it, you have a very good moat or protection because not that many people go into hardware.
Right. Hardware is hard. And it was infernal during the pandemic. So yeah, I closed my hardware startup during the pandemic, which was a supplement business. And theoretically, it's hardware, right? And it wasn't even because of production issues, just like we were not getting in the green enough in that business. We were using Facebook ads quite extensively, and the CAC was sometimes good, sometimes it was horrible. So we decided to put a key in that one, which brings us to Stori AI. Tell us like precisely like the product market fit that you're hitting, when you're launching, and what was the logic behind the why behind that startup.
Yeah. So another thing, when I came back from Poland, as I mentioned, we had manufacturing set up there. Was that in Georgia, many companies, many small businesses didn't have website. Everything like was done on Facebook. Like Facebook is the internet of Georgia. So I thought that maybe we can create some no code, low code solution for SMBs to build their websites with little effort. And once we started that company, Digi, it still got customers and it's still active. The biggest challenge was that those customers were not able to provide content. Like they did not have relevant images, they did not have branding, they did not have copy text, just like simple about us. And we pivoted and created Story AI that helps you create brand, content, and everything that company needs to become a brand. That's how it was initiated. It's like developed from that our own hardship and problems that we experienced with Digi, and then we formed it as a separate entity, Story AI. So the whole point here is that many makers, builders, software engineers, they build great products, but they lack this marketing expertise. They build products for marketers, but nobody is building tech solution for them. They are just then offering their services to them, like agency. We will brainstorm, we are creative, it cannot be done by a machine. But it's not really like that. It could be different. So we created Story AI with makers, tech people in mind, who are maybe introverted. Half of the world is introverted. They're doing great job, but they cannot express what's their value, cannot engage their audiences. And we created Story AI, so it will enable them to like raise their voice and get their voice heard. So that's the whole point. We'll create whole cycle.
Interesting. You're the second Georgian founder that I interview. What are the advantages and the disadvantages of building a startup there?
Yeah. Maybe startup here, there are not much investors here, but we have Georgia's Innovation and Technology Agency that just gives you prizes, and that's very helpful. It can make you like, it's enough for an MVP or just to test it, and later on you need to move on. Also, another challenge is if you're building for local market, you should take into consideration language and small market. Just market size is too small, and the B2B market is like not even present. So we are building. I sometimes spend time in SF and back to Georgia, so I travel a lot, and we're building this for that community, like Bay Area community first, and then we'll expand. So we're building it English first, and then we add some other languages.
3 co-founders. Why so many co-founders? Why not like bootstrap it solo? Why did you decided to go with that route?
Bootstrapping solo, it's really complicated. We need so many competencies. It's you cannot bootstrap alone. That's why you need co-founders, and it's not only technical competencies. You also need your support system, because the road is hard. Sometimes you have hard negotiations. Sometimes something is not working. Sometimes someone is not working, and you need people to rely on, and they need you to rely on as well. And so that is definitely a teamwork.
Yeah, right. And especially during COVID, that aspect must have weighted somewhat heavy on you. I see you chat a lot about AI technologies, Chat GPT, and so forth. What's on the roadmap of Story AI, and how are you gonna use generative AI to build a product that's somewhat different on this current market?
Yeah. So we are building a platform where you can collaborate, like on Figma. This is a place that first we create brand. It's like, it's easy to sell like content, like, oh, look at it, it's a nice poster, but it will not resonate with your audience. And plus, probably you do not have knowledge of your audience or target segment, and you are just in your mind, or this app is showing you like, this is a beautiful composition, and it will do something. So we are first building a brand automatically, and then these brand guidelines are taken into account when creating content. Then this content is published on different platforms, and then it is structurally analyzed. So it doesn't just say you have this kind of engagement, shares, likes. It understands what components need to be changed or adapted in your brand or in your content to make it better, so it works better. And we are oriented to build like content that is interesting, because ads are almost targeted ads, privacy. This is becoming, well, it's almost restricted. You cannot do it the old way. So creating content that people are really interested, that also shows your brand values, mission, is something I think that will be really interested for future generations, new generations, because nobody wants to see these ads. They know how to block it, and plus privacy concerns.
You spend time thinking about the state of AI and when AGI is going to be a thing?
Yeah. I recently tried I've been trying Pi. If you know that, hey, Pi, it's Inflection AI, and it's really good. It's really good. I think Chat GPT will be like, if we do this analogy of electricity, will be like AC. It will power our industry, power our utilities, and Pi will be like DC, like it will power our personal devices and stuff. So it's a really, really cool technology. Both of them are.
Yeah, and you wrote on your LinkedIn that Pi was actually texting you, and that was kind of disturbing.
Yeah, it actually initiated the conversation. I had it on WhatsApp, and next day I haven't even checked that WhatsApp, but it sent me an SMS actually on its own. But then it did it again. I think it's their function, even though it will. When I asked, you texted me, it was denying. No, it's not possible for me to text you. It did several times. I have a few more. So this kind of thing, that it is proactive, it is personalized. It sometimes may even lie to you, like tell you, for example, that yeah, I will do that in order to please you, and like keep conversation going. So it's really cool, really human-like. It wouldn't perform tasks if you like ChatGPT. If you tell it, let's do something, do it for me, no. But it can give you like recommendations, advice, and stuff. So it's really personalized and cool technology.
Right. Sandro, thank you for the interview today. Where can people find out more about you and your company?
Follow us on LinkedIn, Stori AI, website, Twitter, anywhere.
Alrighty. So yeah, thank you so much for showing up today. So that was another wrap for Founder Wisdom Podcast.